Yes, people, Manscaped is back, but this time it's not for below the belt grooming. Manscaped brings to you the Beard Hedger, the best product on the market when it comes to beard trimmers. The Beard Hedger is unique due to its number of gradient settings. As someone who's purchased this, I won't turn to any other beard trimmer. Check it out for yourself at manscaped.com. And don't forget to use code FTM20 to get 20% off of this product.
Yes, people, how we doing? Big up to all of you. 12th man's back. Arsenal show's back. I'm doing a one-on-one with Northside, who is back on the channel. It's been too long, my bro. How are you, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you? You've been working hard, man. I see you grinding.
Come on, man. Straight back at you. Both of us have been plugging. I've been seeing every time my YouTube's going off, it's Northside, man. So, yeah, big up to you, man. I'm so glad that you're doing more content. And big up for the raid. Big up for all of you Northside lovers. Big up for everyone coming over from Northside LDN. Much appreciate that, bro, for the redirect. So, welcome to everybody in the chat. Make sure you do me a favor and make sure you are following Northside LDN and his YouTube channel. Flying towards 15K now, which is great to see. So, make sure you go show the love over there. Make sure you hit the like on this one. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you click the link in the pinned comment, please, because Manscaped are back and it is not for shaving your balls. This time it is for your beard. So it's the beard trimmer. The Beard Hedger is back, people, and it's 20% off. All you do is click the link and literally you'll get 20% off. So it will automatically show. You will have to find it. People are saying it's a bit of a maze. Go on there. Listen, here's the challenge for you. Click on the link, go to Beard and Face, go to Beard Hedger, add it to your cart, click checkout, and you'll have 20% off of it. There we go. Got to be done. Northside, we've got a lot to talk about, my bro, because the transfer window is alive and kicking. Now, I'd love to say that we're going to be talking about all of the signings that Edu and Arteta are making, but that's not going to be the case. We are going to talk about the Bournemouth game, the 1-1 that was pre-season, 3 a.m. kickoff at the early hours of this morning. We're also going to bring up Smith-Rowe. We're going to talk about some of the outgoings to potentially Nelson and Nketiah. And then hopefully we can start talking about what that might lead to in terms of incomings, bruv. So we're going to talk about that. Listen, have you seen any of the game? Have you seen any of the goals in the preseason, my bro?
Nah, I haven't, bro. The game was like 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of it, bro. I've been at work, lunch break streaming, and I ain't seen any of it. I saw literally like not enough to be able to comment on it. So I just saw Vieira scored, and that's basically about it. I barely seen it, bro. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. I've seen the highlights. To be fair, I thought Bournemouth actually looked quite good. They had a strong team out. Arsenal were full of kids, really. I say full of kids, maybe that's harsh. I mean, there were quite well-known players that were starting. So it wasn't like we played a reserve team. But if I'm honest with you, most of the players that people were talking about are actually looking at leaving the club, i.e. Nelson, i.e. Eddie Nketiah. The future of Vieira is very, very uncertain at the moment. We don't know what's happening with him, if he's going to be staying long term or leaving. Timber started at centre back. Obviously, we had Heaven next to him. We had Lewis Skelly playing at left back, who had a very good, solid game, and he's not really a left back. We had Mini Salah playing, who's what I call him, Salah and Dude. He is playing very well apparently at the moment. Thomas Partey started, which is all good. Ben White, Martin Odegaard came on. It went to penalties after goals from Semenyo, which, to be fair, was a very deflected equaliser. But Fabi Vieira actually scored quite a good volley. It was from close range. Great technique. And that was on 17 minutes to put us 1-0 up. But Cole Hine was actually the one that got the heroics from his saving. I mean, I think he made some brilliant saves, but also he saved the penalties because it went to penalties. And we had Ethan Waneri, who was absolutely flying. Everybody's been talking about how good he was and how fantastic he looked in comparison to some of the others for his age and how comfortable he looked on the ball. A couple of people commented Northside that he'd give the ball away, didn't care, got on with it, won it back, cracked on with his passing. So definitely has an ability and confidence in his game. Smith-Rowe did not take part, and Arteta said that there was some sort of not problems, but there was kind of stuff going on. So he didn't want to allow him to play part of the game. Eddie and Nelson looked pretty sharp. Hopefully that's for a shot window, which we'll come to. It went to penalties. Trossard hit the post. Everybody else scored. They missed 2. Cole Hine saved it. That's pretty much the first game in pre-season in 30 seconds. So nothing to be carried away by, nothing to be excited about, but also nothing to be shocked about. But the reason I've gone through that, 2 reasons. 1, because you obviously said you didn't see it. And 2, because I think it will highlight some questions I've got after this game. And I think we'll just go through that kind of, first of all, before we start getting into the transfers. Obviously, at the moment, Cole Hine is the guy that we're playing in goal. But we have Ramsdale and Raya that are both coming back. Now, I've wanted to talk to you for a while about this because I've been on my own with this one, and I don't know where you stand. You and I are very similar in how we look at things, but sometimes there is some disagreement between us, right? The goalkeeping scenario at Arsenal is a bit of a strange one, and I can't really quite understand what's going on, bruv. We've got Aaron Ramsdale, who's the backup. I personally wouldn't be selling him unless there's good money for him, because we signed him for 25 million, so we should be selling him for more than that, in my opinion. We've also got David Raya at number 1. And we've got some backup goalkeepers that look like they're coming in. Obviously, Setford's one of them coming in. Dan Bentley's another one being mentioned. Juan Garcia is another one being mentioned. I personally feel like we need a number 1 goalkeeper. And everyone shouts me down when I say it. Oh, Raya's brilliant. He got the golden glove. But let's be real, bro. The reason David Raya got the golden glove was because Gabriel and Saliba and Ben White were superb in front of him, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. David Raya deserves mention for Porto, for winning us the penalty shootout. He made some good saves. But actually, I would be more excited if Arsenal were going in for a Diogo Costa or a Jan Oblak or a Michael Mannion type goalkeeper than Dan Bentley and Tommy Setford or Juan Garcia. So wanted to ask you where you're at with the goalkeeping scenario, because Cole Heim played very well yesterday, but there's rumours that he's going to go on loan this summer window, go and get first team football and then see where his future's at after this season. But in goal, man, what's actually going on?
I agree with you. I don't get it. I don't get it. When we got Runnison, who was a backup, he wasn't good enough. We got Carl Hine, a backup, he's not good enough. We got Ramsdale, that wasn't good enough from a smaller team that isn't an elite goalkeeper. He's now not good enough. Now we've got Raya, which even the debate between Raya and Ramsdale, it's not miles apart.
No.
You know, it's not clear. You don't look at Raya and say, yo, you're clear of Ramsdale. So it doesn't really make any sense, bro. And the thing is, I agree with you. I just don't understand why we just don't get a proper goalkeeper. When Pep went to City and he had Joe Hart, this is a Joe Hart that won the league. This is a Joe Hart that actually won things for Man City. But he said, yo, you ain't good enough. What did he go and do? Get Edison. Since then, he hasn't been messing around, chopping and changing with goalkeepers. The same thing with Klopp. You know what I'm saying? Man brings in Alisson, boom. That's the guy I want. There's no chopping and changing. I identify a top goalkeeper. And then I keep it pushing. Then the focus is getting a Van Dijk. Then the focus is getting, you know what I mean, getting Salah, getting Mane, getting Firmino, getting this and that. And with Arsenal, it's like we never settle. I mean, and it's not just the goalkeeping position that we do this with. We got Nuntavaj. Team straight away, not good enough. We got Kiwior. Already we're looking to move him on. The whole time, rumors keep coming out, we're moving him on. Do you know what I mean? We got Zinchenko to then play there. These are like 3 players that we got to play left back, and none of them are good enough. Yeah. How does this make sense? Then we go and get a midfield where we go and identify Lokonga and Fabi Vieira, and then they're already not good enough. And yet the club's coming up with a narrative of, oh, this is the season for Fabi Vieira to break his way into the team. Really? Over who? Over Declan Rice that we spent big money on? Or is he going to come over Odegaard? That's the captain? Let's be real. He hasn't done anything to be shown any game time or any minutes, bro. He's the next one out. If not this season, the end of next season. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't make any sense, bro, because we're just wasting money. You know, and it just doesn't make any sense, bro. Like, at the end of the day, why is it already at phase 5, we don't know who our number 1 goalkeeper, or we're still not sure of the quality of our goalkeepers. We don't know if Raya is good enough to get us over the line. You know, and it just doesn't make any sense to me, bro. Like, we're just all over the place. But Dan, they won't focus on that. They'll say we're negative because of all the signings that we've made that look good. But at the end of the day, you can't have a self-sustained system and you can't identify the right players, and you keep getting your recruitment wrong. Because really and truly, it's on the recruitment. Arteta and Eddie always love to come out and say they buy players together. Okay, when you identify a player, yeah, what's going on? What's going on that you buy a player within a year not good enough? Within a year, you can't even work with that player or train that player or get that player better. Like, what was the point of the recruitment? Look even with Lokonga and Nuntavaj, like, they've just been used as loanees. So we ain't sorted out the bench, but we got loanees. Make that make sense? The bench ain't fixed.
it's crazy for me as well because I mean I'll throw this up from Travarelli. Big up, man, regular listener, regular watcher. So, Stu, do you want to replace Raya or do you want a better backup? Personally, what I would do is replace David Raya. Now, people think that's well out of order and disgraceful and awful, but it wasn't when we replaced Ramsdale. But it is now that we replaced Raya all of a sudden. It's very bizarre. It wasn't when we replaced Emile Martinez, but it is now we replaced David Raya. If a Diogo Costa became available, I would go and get him. If Jan Oblak was available, if Michael Mannion, if Emile Martinez, these are the goalkeepers that, in my opinion, are better than David Raya. Now, David Raya is not trash. David Raya is a good goalkeeper. In fact, he's a very good Premier League goalkeeper. But I don't know that that is a player that everybody around the world would go, yeah, I'd have him. I'd have him. He's not Levels. He's not Courtois. He's not Ederson. He's not Alisson. That's what Arsenal need. When was the last time a goalkeeper of David Raya's level won the Premier League Northside? Real question. Because David Seaman was better. Jens Lehmann was better. They're the Arsenal goalkeepers. Ederson was better with Man City. Alisson is better with Liverpool. I would argue that all of the Man United goalkeepers were better. Schmeichel, Van der Sar, Barthez, all these guys they've had previously. My point is, you need a world-class goalkeeper to win the title. And I just have my question marks over David Raya. I'm not saying we're not going to win the league with him. I'm just saying there's better out there. And I want to be making sure we upgrade every single position. So that's where I'm at. My last thing to say on this is Emile Martinez is the best goalkeeper we've had in Arteta's reign, and we got rid of him. And we still haven't bloody replaced him. After what, 8 goalkeepers now? So I just think I have question marks on it. And people will say, what are you talking about Raya for? Well, we're talking about it because Carl Hein had a good performance. And at the moment, we don't have anybody else in pre-season to show because obviously Raya and Ramsdale are coming back soon. So Ramsdale was being tipped with a move away. We're being linked with Dan Bentley, Setford, Juan Garcia. Are they all better than Ramsdale? Not for me. So are we downgrading potentially the goalkeeping situation offside? Do you know what I'm saying?
Bro, just like you said, we got rid of Martinez to go through all these goalkeepers. We got rid of Aubameyang to go through Nketiah on a new contract that ain't good enough, and now we're moving him on. Jesus, that's not good enough, and there was talks about moving him on. The fan base now realize it's not about everything you do, it's about scoring goals. And Havertz, that still is not a clinical goal scorer, and wasn't clinical for Arsenal when we needed him in the cup competitions, nor in knockout stages of the Champions League. Didn't come up clutch to get us through. And wasn't clutch for Germany when they played Spain and he missed 6 one-on-ones. But then to go back and now, we need a striker in the model of Aubameyang. Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. Because you identified that you didn't want that kind of striker, but you've identified 3 strikers you either gave a contract or brought to this football club. And neither one of them are fitting the bill. So he's done what he's done with the goalkeepers. He's done it also with the strikers to now revert back to going back to the type of striker you got rid of. Cool, you want to get rid of a striker, but why is it taking you these many seasons to now realize you need a proper striker?
And that's what I'm saying. I said this the other day, and a few people in the comments did not like it. But I'm not saying all these players should still be at Arsenal, by the way, right? But what I'm saying is, if you want to get rid of the following 4 players, that's absolutely fine by me, and I mean that. 4 players, I'm going to say, fine, but I've got a problem with you selling all 4 of them. But you have to replace them. And you have to replace them with upgrades. And those 4 players are Emile Martinez, Kieran Tierney, Granit Xhaka, and Aubameyang. And at the moment, I don't see really replacements for those 4. So this window for me, I'm looking at those 4 positions thinking, these are the 4 that Arteta needs to actually look at. Now, we understand Ray is going to be number 1. Calm. But we need to actually look at the backup situation because lo and behold, it will be sod's law that he breaks his finger and we have to put Dan Bentley in goal or something like that, going for a title. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem for me. And, you know, a lot of people don't like it when I mention Kieran Tierney. I'm not saying Kieran Tierney is the best left back in the world. Of course I'm not. But defensively, he's the best one we've had in a very long time. Now, hopefully Calafiori comes in and we've got him and Timber. We don't need Kieran Tierney. That's the sort of signings I need. That's cool. But keep going, yeah? What about the Granit Xhaka replacement? Is that going to be Mikel Merino? Are we going to get a striker like an Isak or a Gyökeres or whoever it be to try and replace Aubameyang? That's the kind of summer that I want to be seeing. And that's why I mentioned it, bro, because I feel like since Emile Martinez, we've had a hell of a lot of goalkeepers now, Northside, and not one of them has been good enough to hold down the number 1 shirt for the foreseeable, because we've switched Ramsdale. We're talking about Raya. Some of the fan base aren't quite convinced with Raya being hugely upgraded on who am I trying to say? Ramsdale. So I think that's a fair point for us to look at. Listen, we go into pre-season. We've got Saturday. We've got Man United, we've got Liverpool as well, and then we come back and we've got Bayern Leverkusen in the Emirates Cup. What do you make of this pre-season, bro? Because it's not going to be. I don't feel as ready this pre-season, if I'm honest with you. And I wanted to ask you how you felt, because if you remember the Declan Rice, the Kai Havertz, the Timbers, the Rayas, they were all massively part of pre-season last year. Do you think maybe PSR, the Euros, Copa America has got in the way of that? Or do you think Arsenal have been a bit slow this time to allow for a pre-season to really get these players in the mold of it? Like, what are you saying, bro?
This club is all over the place when it comes to recruitment. We're all over the place. We're prioritizing a goalkeeper instead of getting a striker. We should be getting another number 10 because if Odegaard gets injured, is anyone happy with Fabi Vieira to the end of the season?
I've said this, mate.
If Declan Rice gets injured, who are we playing there? Jorginho. When has he ever put a string of 10 top tier performances in a row? I'm not talking about 1 or 2. I'm talking about 10, 15, 20. We don't know if injuries come. We don't know how long players will be out. We didn't expect Timber to be out for the whole season. Are we prepared for that? If something happens to Saka, are we prepared? We're letting go of Reece Nelson, but what happened to the talks of Pedro Neto? If you don't want Pedro Neto, why are we not going out there and getting it done? It doesn't make sense. Even look, we got Calafiori, and I wanted a centre-back and I wanted a left-back. The reason is this. We've got no centre-backs that can rival Saliba and Gabriel, but we've got 2 full-backs that could play as a centre-back, but aren't of the level. We don't know if they're of the level. Calafiori may play as a centre-back or as a left-back. Cool. Let's say he's playing as a centre-back and is an option for Saliba and Gabriel. So our options is Timber. If Timber gets injured, who do we play there? Zinchenko? Well, he's not good enough. Are we going to play Tomiyasu? Okay, cool. But then who's covering on the right-hand side? Who's then covering the right-hand side? If we have multiple injuries to the back line, this versatility stuff, there's a ceiling to it because players can only play one position at a time. If, let's say, Timber and Ben White are starting fullbacks, yeah? If Timber's injured, okay, you may play Calafiori there. If Ben White's injured, you play Tomiyasu. If one of our centre-backs then get injured as well, who do we have? Because it looks like we're getting rid of Kiwior. And the club obviously deem him not good enough, which is why he's even being in talks of leaving the club. So who covers that? Because your versatility, the player can only play one position at a time. And you can get multiple.
I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago and said, do you remember, was it 2 years ago now? Goes so quickly, man. Where we missed, we got Tomiyasu and Saliba both injured at the same time. Do you remember? And we had no idea on that right-hand side. And I said to judges, I think, what have we done since then? We haven't actually brought another right-sided centre-back in. We've just said Ben White and Tomiyasu can play there. Well, Tomiyasu's injured again before we've even kicked a ball. So there could be the potential need. I mean, we keep being linked with Mark Guehi, and I've suggested this to fans, but they keep shouting it down, saying we don't need another right-sided centre-back. Now, listen, I don't think Guehi's coming. I will say that because he's not going to come and sit on the bench, right, for Saliba. But I will say that we actually haven't got, other than Gabriel and Saliba, if we're going to sell Kiwior, we've literally got 2 centre-halves at the moment. Now, Calafiori can come in, 100%. That's for sure. Timber's been playing there pre-season. But I look at the versatility, and I understand it, and I appreciate it. But it's sometimes quite nice to actually have players that actually do have a position. Other than, look, they can all kind of play there. So I have had the same question marks over it. Now, a lot of people have convinced me that maybe we have got 7 or 8 defenders and that we're not going to be looking at any more because how many more defenders do we need? But you're right in terms of injuries. It's fine to have versatility. But if those players that are supposed to be versatile are also injured on top of that, where do we go from here? I mean, I don't personally like Zinchenko. I think defensively he's shocking. I like Calafiori from what I hear. I like Timber. I like Gabriel Saliba and Ben White. Tomiyasu, I really like him when he's fit, but he never is. He never is. So maybe you're right, man. I think right-sided centre-back Timber is playing at the moment. That's very interesting for me. I think there could be some potential there for him to actually come in for Saliba. So maybe we don't need cover. But, I mean, we might as well stay on the defence while we're there. Calafiori, bruv. Looks like it's a done deal. Looks like it's been close for about 6 weeks. Are you okay with this signing, bro? I think he's going to be all right, man. What do you think?
I have no idea. I've never seen him. Okay. I'll judge him when I see him. So at the moment, I'm neutral on him. I don't know if he's great. I don't know if he's trash. I don't watch Bologna, and I think it's dangerous to watch a player in a competition just say, oh yeah, he's played well that competition. What's he like week in, week out? You know, listen, if you put compilations of Eddie Nketiah every time he scored, he looks like a world beater. But how many times during the season does he do that? How consistent is he? Do you get what I mean, Dan? Like,
Yeah.
if you ain't seen the body of work of a player for a season, what is their actual level? Because every dog has his day. There's loads of players that will score. Even the smaller teams will have players that will score. But guess what? A lot of them are inconsistent. Inconsistency doesn't get you over the line. So I don't know. I don't think it's fair for me to trash a player I don't know anything about. But at the same time, it's not right for me to laud him up as Maldini Jr. and all this rubbish that Arsenal fans be talking about. Because at the end of the day, we don't watch him like that. And I've seen this fan base always gas up players that come here. They talk about, combinations and versatility. Combinations is just another word for versatility. At the end of the day, they talk about versatility. Well, Zinchenko was versatile, but he's a better midfielder than he is as a left back. Calafiori could play as a left back, but is he as good as a left back as he is a centre back? Ben White has versatility. He started off as a centre back. We brought him in, we played him as centre back. Is anyone going to tell me he's as good a centre back as he is as a right back? So just the ability to play multiple positions doesn't mean that your level is the same in each position. So we don't know that. Timber might be a better centre back than he is as a left back, or a better left back as a centre back. We don't know that yet. We ain't seen enough of these players. And we ain't seen them at this level. We don't know what we're going to expect from Timber. And we don't know what we're going to expect from Calafiori. But if I see that these defenders are not composed, they don't know how to play properly, then I will criticize. At the moment, I have nothing to criticize Timber or Calafiori. I will wait and see. And they will show me whether they're good or not. And once I've got enough evidence, then I will say, well, hold on. I was fair when they came in. I didn't see much of them. Then we will see. And if they're not good enough, I'll call it out, because I've seen enough football to know when a player is good and when a player isn't good, or what their strengths or deficiencies are. But it's going to take a bit of time, Dan. That's what I'll say. It'll take a bit of time for me to, I got to see him after a couple of games and see how they get on.
No, that's fair. Listen, what you're not doing is writing them off before they wear an Arsenal shirt. Timber, likewise. I mean, a lot of people forget how long he was injured for. So you've got to see them before you have a proper evaluation of them. So I think that's fair. This super chat comes in relation to the defense. Big up to Nikhil. Much appreciate you, bro, for the super chat. If you want to get any super chats in, people, to ask any questions to myself on Northside, please make sure that you do that, just like Nikhil has. Don't think we'll get rid of Kiwior, he says. I'm not sure where these rumours emanate from. We need cover at both right back and right wing. Waneri has proven he can play out wide as well. That's a player I want to touch on in a minute, because for me, I'm quite excited by him. He looks very, very, very good. And yesterday, today, I should say, early hours today, he looked really good. So yeah, definitely the one that's coming through next for sure is Ethan Waneri. Thanks so much for the super chat, Nikhil. The Kiwior rumours, I actually do think Kiwior, there could be some truth in this. There's a lot of rumours suggesting that Serie A clubs are interested. Inter Milan being favourites to get him, Juventus sniffing around him, AC Milan also looking at him. Would you sell him, Northside? About 20-25 million they're suggesting is what we want.
So highly rated and you're only going for 25 mil. Crazy. Crazy. This guy got exposed against Bayern Munich, bro. This guy is not what they think he is, isn't it? I'll be real. He ain't what they think he is. You know what I mean? I'll just keep it real. He ain't what they think he is. And for me, he can go, bro. I don't think he's good enough. A man is saying, oh, we got Tommy Asu that can play as a right back, bro. This fan base pick and choose when they want to have when they want to leverage things against players. Thomas Partey is not flavor of the month with a lot of fans. Oh, he's injury prone. Get rid of him. Okay. Is Tomiyasu not injury prone? ESR's been injury prone. And a lot of people were saying, oh, let's keep ESR. Okay, but the same thing you leverage at Partey, you can leverage at them too. Because both of them are injury prone. So why?
Tierney's another one. Tierney's another one as well, by the way. They want to get rid of Tierney. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm a Tierney I like Tierney, but Tomiyasu has been injured more than Tierney. And
what about Jesus?
And Jesus,
every time we're in the title run, this guy's injured.
Needs to be consistent, man. I'm with you. The fan base needs to be consistent with who they believe needs to be sold because of injuries and who needs to be sold because they're not good enough. Kiwior, I don't mind him as much as you. I don't think he's great. I don't look at him and think, wow. But at the same time, we kind of need some cover at centre back. And if we're getting rid of him and Calafiori's coming in, then yeah, potentially we've upgraded on him. Zinchenko would be the one I'd prefer to get rid of, though, out of the two, man, because I'm kind of done with him. Bro, I'm kind of done with it, watching him trying to defend. At least Kiwior ain't so bad at it at times. This guy is, shockingly bad, man. So I'd be trying to get rid of Zinchenko personally, bro.
This is what I mean, Dan. Yeah, like I'm telling you, bro. Like this is why, like I just look at it and just say exactly how I feel, bro. Because I keep the same energy, bro. Like at the end of the day, I didn't mind Martinelli, but last season he was trash. I said give him one more season. If he performs like that again, I want him gone. Simple as that. Because there's no the favorite for me is the football club. If you're not performing for my football club and to the standard that we need to get over the line, you can go. You can go. Same energy for Saka, same energy for any other player in the team that I like. Same energy for the centre backs, even the players that I like. You know, when Trossard hasn't played well, I called him out. When he plays well, I say he does well. You know, the only thing I care about is this football club winning. That's it. Yeah, and I hear you when you talk about, look, you'd rather get rid of Zinchenko than Kiwior, because we went on that run. I think after we beat Liverpool, we went on a run that we actually won a lot of games, and Kiwior as a left back. So can he do a job? Yes. But should at phase 5, closing in on £1 billion, should we be having players that can do a job? Or should we be having players that are neck and neck to get in the starting 11? Because we had that with the Invincibles. We didn't spend £1 billion then. You know what I mean? We didn't have £1 billion. But you look at our bench, they were rivaling the starting 11. They were rivaling them. And the disparity from the starting 11 to the bench wasn't miles away. But when you look at our bench, it is. For our midfield and our attack, it's miles away. And this is why Saka will not get dropped. This is why the only position that we got good rivalry is Martinelli Trossard. You know, and we should be having that all around the pitch. Yeah. Because Martinelli dropped off. A lot of fans wouldn't have said that he would have dropped off last season. They said, nailed on, Martinelli's going to start. But he did. But guess what? It didn't affect us that much because we had Trossard that stepped up. Why can't we have that all around the pitch? That's what I want.
I think that's fair. And that's what I think we should be building towards. I think that we should be going towards now is exactly that. And look, I like some of the stuff we've done. I do. I think the players that we brought in, some of them have really worked. And we need a squad now, you know, and I don't want to be seeing no more Reece Nelsons and Eddie Nketiahs and Fabio Vieiras and Cedrics and El Nenis sitting on that bench. So that's what we now got to do, is to get rid of those, which looks like we're doing, and now upgrading on some of those positions, man. Let's talk about one of the players that we think is definitely going to be leaving now. It looks as if it's a given that Emile Smith-Rowe will be leaving the club. This was the Ornstein bomb that came very, very late last night. Fulham close to reaching agreement with Arsenal to sign Emile Smith-Rowe. The talks over a move are worth up to 35 million. It would be a record signing for Fulham, and it will match the biggest Arsenal sale. If the deal is struck, the 23-year-old is expected to do a medical and finalised terms. Now, listen, I've spoken to you and to many people about Emile Smith-Rowe and about whether we should be saying goodbye, whether we should be keeping him as part of the squad. I don't really have a massive issue with Smith-Rowe going. I'm not going to cry about it. I really like him, and I think he could be a really good player for us. I think if we get him 35 to 40 million pounds, that's actually fair for someone who's been injury prone for that long. But I kind of feel like we've got two options. We either need to replace him or we need to use Ethan Nwaneri. Now, you mentioned earlier about there being a number 10 that you'd like in because Fabio Vieira is still there as well. So I want to ask you the question about whether you would be happy to see Smith-Rowe go for that money and what you think Arsenal should do in that position, bro.
Yeah, I actually think it's good business. Well done, Arteta and Edu. It's not hard, is it? It's not hard. Because with that money, you can go get a Dovbyk, 40 mil. You can get an Ivan Toney, 40 mil. You ain't even touched our transfer budget. It's not hard. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. I'm not going to overpraise, but I am going to praise when I see something worth praising. 35 to 40 mil, I agree with you. That's good money. For a player that's been injury prone, a player that hasn't kicked on. And I think that's good money for the level of player that he is. And I think I've got nothing bad to say about that deal. I actually think that was actually something good that we've done this window. Obviously, the Calafiori thing, addressing the defense, I'm happy about that. How good he is, we'll see. But I like that we addressed the defense and we got Calafiori. And I like that we're selling this player because we saw a couple of players going out on loan, some with an option to buy, others with an obligation to buy. Now, I don't mind the obligation to buy because they're going to have to buy the player. Option to buy, that's where I have a problem because
Same.
Konga had an option to buy and it weren't triggered. Lokonga and Nuntavaj, both of them, bro. Nottingham Forest and Luton said, nah. Option to back, nah, not good enough. So at the end of the day, I think, look, it's good business, but it's what we should be doing anyway. And we should be using the funds to get players in that can actually affect the team. Arsenal don't need to break the bank with every signing. All we need to do is make sure we get the right signings in. Yeah, and it might not always be the right obvious signing like Calafiori or a Timber, but we will judge it when we see it. The money that we're getting from ESR, like I said, why not get a Dovbik? He had a better season than Nketiah. He had a better season than Jesus. He had a better season than most of our strikers. From what I've seen of him, he looks like a more natural striker than someone like Havertz. Why not? Why not, bro? Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. I think it's a good deal, but it's what we do with it. You know, what do we do with it?
I'm with you, and I want to bring this up from AJ because I'm kind of with him. Ethan Nwaneri's not ready. He says we need to replace Smith-Rowe with either Eze or Dani Olmo. That would excite me more. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Ethan Nwaneri is definitely one for the future. He's going to be a really good player. I look at him and I think, yep, you could be the one that's coming through next for sure, right? But I've got to say, if we was to be replacing Smith-Rowe with Eze, he's got a 60 million release clause. You've just got pretty much 35, 40. Add 20 million to it and you get Eze. I'll be excited by that. Eze can cover for Saka. Eze can cover for Ødegaard. Eze can actually play more of an attack-minded left 8 role. I think this would be a no-brainer to bring him in. So if we're going to be doing that north side, I'm cool with the Smith-Rowe thing going. But if we're going to just get rid of Smith-Rowe and say, oh, Nwaneri's going to actually come in and be the next one, is that a bit of a risk to you, bro?
Why can't we just go get someone like Dani Olmo?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Why not? Like, we're on phase 5, right? At the start, we were buying these players. The justification was we're bringing in the youth, we're getting young players, we're getting cheap players because Arteta's inherited a toxic squad and he needs to overhaul the team. Well, he's overhauled the team now. Now in phase 5, I'm expecting us to get over the line. You can't tell me we should sign this kind of signings or giving opportunities to Nwaneri. Listen, he should be third choice. He should get minutes. Don't get me wrong. He should get minutes in the Carabao Cup, in the FA Cup. That's what we used to do. We always had young players coming through. We always had players like Gibbs. We had players like Wilshere. Diaby was young. Van Persie was young. Adebayor was pretty young. Nasri was young. But some of them weren't good enough to break into the team, but they got their minutes through the cups. That's how we should be using this guy. If I see Nwaneri playing in, the round 1 of the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, I ain't going to be mad at that. Let's see if you can transition into the first team. I understand. Wenger used to do that excellently. But he should not be second choice, Dan. He should not be second choice. He should be third choice and get minutes in the cups. And then if he improves and performs, then you can increase his numbers, his minutes because of his performances. They warrant it. The same way Unai Emery did with Saka. Gave him an opportunity. He rose to the occasion and he gave more minutes and more minutes and more minutes because he was performing. But we should get a Dani Olmo because we should have a team that's ready to compete for the league or for the Champions League. We should not be chancing it with an Nwaneri that is second option. If something happens to Ødegaard, right, we're playing Nwaneri for the rest of the season. Come on, man. Who's convinced with that? Let's just keep it honest. Who's convinced with that? And listen, I don't watch loads of him. I haven't watched a lot of him. We were one of the poorest teams in terms of giving youngsters minutes. And I saw the hype for Charlie Patino, this fan base hyping up Charlie Patino, hyping up Aziz, hyping up even that Chobby Obi Martins. How many people have actually watched him? Because the same way they're saying, oh, he's performing in the under 16s and all that, bro, they were saying the same thing with Nketiah. Nketiah was performing with the under 21s. But then when he stepped up, what happened? They were all telling me about the numbers Nketiah was doing in the under 21s. What happened when he stepped up? So it all sounds...
years ago, it was Dan Crowley, J. Emmanuel Thomas, Arturo Lupili, Quincy Owusu-Abeyi. We've had many, man, that have gone on not to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it isn't always going to be, wow, this player is going to be next level. I say this all the time. We get one every decade that comes through. Yeah. In the early 90s, it was Adams and Rocky. They were the only time that two come through together. Then you have to go into the 2000s with Ashley Cole. Then you go into the Jack Wilshere in the 2010s. And now you've got Bukayo Saka. So really, there's kind of one every decade. Now, Ethan Nwaneri, big up to Troops, by the way. Make sure you go on Troops TV. Just woke up after last night's stream. Ethan Nwaneri and Skelly are ballers because obviously Lewis Skelly played at left back and was very good as well. I was listening to some of the reaction and they were very, very excited by him as well. Pissed that Smith-Rowe's leaving, but it's good money. He says, large up the chat. Slap a blood clot like on the stream. Legend, man. Absolute legend. Listen, I must say, I would be okay with Emile Smith-Rowe leaving for that price. I love Emile Smith-Rowe because I think he loves everything about the club. And when he came, he was exciting. I do kind of feel like it needs to be an Eze or, like you say, Olmo coming in because I'm cool with Ethan Nwaneri. I'm not going to say that that's not going to potentially block his development, but the kid is literally like 17, 18. It's not like we're looking at this. Not even that, is he? Is he 17? It's crazy. Like this kid is absolutely 100% going to be a baller. But I wouldn't be like, let's not bring Eze in because we've got Ethan Nwaneri. I've not seen what this guy's good like over a season yet. So for me, if you're going to be looking at getting rid of Smith-Rowe, you need to replace him because otherwise we're going to be basically downgrade that position if Erdegaard was to get injured. I've got to ask you, bro, Fabi Vieira, he ain't for me. I know he scored a good goal yesterday. I keep saying yesterday, but you know what I mean? Early hours of the day. Good technique, great volley, great left foot. I'll give him that. Great way to pass. I just don't think he's ready for this league, man. I just gets pushed off. He's weak. I would like to replace him. I'd like to kind of see him, nobody's looking at him. I mean, what do you think? Is your nationality, bro? What are you saying?
We don't rate him. We don't claim him. we don't claim him, bro.
Don't claim him as one of us.
He's not like us, bro. Big up to Kendrick. You know what I mean? He's not like us, bro. He's living off a passport. You know what I mean? Because he's got a Portuguese passport. Yeah, he thinks he's one of us. Nah, bro. We don't claim you. You ain't good enough, bro. You ain't good enough. What you know what it is? Yeah. A lot of Arsenal fans thought he is what Vitinha is. That's a good player. I've seen him perform well for Portugal. I've seen him perform well for PSG. Fabi Vieira, the best I remember seeing of Fabi Vieira is coming off the bench as an impact player. Well, guess what? What if Odegaard gets injured and we need you to play him week in, week out? I don't remember him putting consistent performances starting week in, week out. The guy ain't good enough. The guy ain't good enough. And I think the Arsenal fans need to cut their umbilical cord, stop being so feminine, yeah, and stop always having this unhealthy attachment to these players. If the player ain't good enough, just call it out. Because they tried to fight the war of Nketiah. Well, guess what? We're getting rid of him. You tried to fight the war of Jesus. Guess what? We're getting rid of him. You know what I'm saying? So the reality is, Fabi Vieira ain't good enough. There's no, and I saw an article saying, oh, about his injuries. What's injuries got to do with ability, bro? This guy's never been good enough, even when he's been fit. He's never been good enough, bro. He's rash in the final third. He's not a great passer of the ball. His finishing is all over the place. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's woeful. He's not consistent. Bro, what does he, bro? But it's always like that, man. It's always like that at this club. Like, until we get a new toy, they won't realize, you know what I mean? Because the same thing they were saying about Zinchenko. It's the same crap. Oh, Zinchenko's pivotal to the way that we play football. Okay, when you got Timber, you weren't telling me that then, would you? Because then you could accept that the fact is Zinchenko ain't good enough. So up until we get another number 10, they'll keep hyping this guy up. The club is definitely doing PR that I've seen of this bookery about, oh, this is his breakout season. Breakout season. The guy's like 24, 25. What are you talking about breakout season? What are we talking about here? The guy is not good enough. But the fan base will accept it. They'll accept it, and it is what it is. When they get it wrong, though, you know what I mean? You know, I already know how it is on the internet. They'll never come back with their apologies. They'll gas it up, gas it up, gas it up, gas it up, and then what? You know what I mean? This fan base gassed up. They justified when I questioned, why are we re-signing Reece Nelson to 100K? Oh, guess what? He's leaving as well. All the guys you want to hype up all the time, guess what? Most of them are leaving. Kai Havertz, same thing. Oh, Havertz is a good striker. Okay, end the next season, we'll talk again, isn't it? Then it will be, oh, we need a clinical striker. Why do we need a clinical striker if Havertz's so great? Why do we need another number 10 if Fabi Vieira is so great? What? Because he's performed in preseason in the first game against Bournemouth. Okay, no problem. We'll talk at the end of the season. Because at the end of every season, I'm yet to be proven wrong. I'm yet to be proven wrong. So we'll see. I don't rate this guy, bro, and he's not good enough. And he wasn't even rated at Porto. But these men don't even watch the Portuguese league. I do. But you don't watch the Portuguese league. He was never a starter at Porto. If you're not a starter at Porto, Why do you think this guy could ever make it at Arsenal, bro? He's not he's not even considered to be taken for the Portuguese national team. But yet I'm supposed to put him on the pedestal. Based on what? Because he plays for Arsenal. Is that why?
I actually think it'll go down as one of the worst Arteta and Edu signings. I really do. For £38 million, it was going to be rising to potentially, I think it was 35 with add-ons. I haven't seen enough of him. And I must say, if we were scouting him ahead of Vitinha, what were we doing? Because he's better. Let me tell you that now. And, you know, players like Fabian Ruiz, who we've been linked with before, I look at him and think he would have been better. I know it's a different position. But I look at that and I just think it's been a poor signing. I just don't rate him well enough, man. I'm going to throw in a couple of super chats, man, before we move to the next topic. Let's chuck in this one from Mr. Big P. Says, hoping Arteta eases Ethan in the same way that Pep did Foden. This is another thing, man. We need to calm down with the comparisons with Phil Foden. I understand what you're saying, bro, in terms of Pep easing a guy like Foden in. So maybe you're not comparing the two. But I have seen people online saying that Ethan Nwaneri is going to be our Phil Foden. Like, we have not seen enough of him yet to be comparing him with Phil Foden. Right, let's just calm on that one. Brian, big up yourself, brother, says, do you think that we'll get one of Williams or Eze? Let me ask you that one, Northside. Do you think one of these two are coming, or do you think neither of them are?
Williams, I think, is going to Barcelona. The same way Rafinha picked Barcelona over Arsenal. Eze, I don't really, we haven't moved on that deal. So I don't believe that he's coming either. I think we will make maybe 1 or 2 signings and we will be short again. We need about another 4 to 5 signings. That's what we need to not be short and to be actually strengthening. So Nico Williams, I think he's going Barca. Eze, we've not moved on that deal. We've been linked to him even before the window opened, and yet we have made no movement. So I'd like both of them to come to Arsenal. I like both of them. But I don't trust this club. I don't trust this club. And that's based off 20 years of not getting what we need over the line and always being short. In the last 20 years, when have we ever addressed what we need? Even over 4 transfers. Like 20 years is a long time to always be short. It's a very long time. So even when people say you can't do it all in one window, which you remember when this fan base used to say, you can't do it all in one window, it's not FIFA. Bro, this manager's had what? He's going on phase 5. I've not asked him to do it in one window, but bro, I think you've had enough windows. Do you know what I'm saying? There's like what, two windows in the season, January and the summer. Do you know what I'm saying? You've been here, hitting 5 seasons. That's 10 transfer windows, and you've not bought a right winger. On top of that, you're getting the strikers you bring in aren't clinical. The goalkeepers you bring in are all bench goalkeepers that ain't good enough and get exposed. The left backs that you pick, most of them have failed or not been good enough, and now you're trying to get rid of them. And you're asking me if we're going to get Williams or Eze. Based on what? What have I seen? We're prioritizing goalkeepers and defenders instead of getting strikers and fixing that bench. I don't have faith in this club. This is why I didn't want to get rid of Partey, because we're going to get 20 million for Partey. You tell me with 20 million how we're going to replace Partey with his quality I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll be keeping him 100%, man. I was going to leave this one till last, but seeing as you've gone into a nice segue, let me put this up now. This is from Virgil. Big up, my bro. Absolute legend for this. Virgil, no hair side. Love that, man. Down the north side, have you noticed that Arteta finishing second twice in a row when we used to banter Spurs for finishing second? Until we replace the board with winners, we'll never win anything under this regime. I was going to leave this as the last question, and I will ask you lastly before we do go about this, but this is the important or most important window that Arsenal have had in a long time. And let me just say, we have said this before, right? But this really is, for me, the kind of make or break one, because there is no excuses not to leave us short anymore. Like, we've had enough windows now. We're coming into our 10th window, I think, under Mikel Arteta now. There should definitely be, when it shuts, nobody going, we're still short here, there, and there. But we got 3 players in. We need to make sure that our defence is done. The department in midfield, which definitely needs some future-proofing, is sorted. We definitely get a cover for Saka and a number 9 comes in. And if it doesn't, I am going to look towards Edu, Arteta and the Cronkies and go, we need another window still then? Because this ain't strong enough for Man City. So I kind of get where the super chat's going. I know that he's definitely saying he's done, and we need to get winners and board members that know what they're doing, blah blah blah. Now, trust me, I think Arsenal are in a much better position than what some of the other clubs are in, right? But I don't really care about the other clubs. I care about what we're in, and I feel personally this is the last window where we can complete the pieces of the puzzle that have been missing for quite some time. Because you and I have been on streams for a long time together now, and I've been crying out for the same positions for what feels like forever, bruv. Yeah. We've still not bought a number 9 at this club because Jesus is not a number 9. We've still not got any cover for Saka. We're still looking in midfield thinking, where is this complete midfield that we've been crying out for? And then obviously we've been looking at the left back trying to replace him for God knows how many seasons now. So I kind of can't have any more excuses after this one, North Side. Do you hear what I'm saying?
This fan base always find a way. I don't know if you saw that. I've seen some people in the streams I've been doing and certain articles saying, we'll get a striker in January. Now you remember last January, everyone went. Well, the whole fan base was united on one thing: we need a clinical striker in January. Did we go out and get it done? No. And then when we didn't get it done, what did they say? Done. You can't buy in January. Nobody wants to sell. So what's the difference in this January? What's going on? Is January's fluid? Are they versatile? You know what I mean? Is there combinations in January? I don't understand. Because you set the precedent that you can't buy a striker in January because nobody wants to sell. It's hard to get signings over the line. That's how they justified it. Now we're in the summer. They said, wait till the summer, we'll get a striker. Now we're in the summer. Some people are saying, no, wait till January. This is why we will not go anywhere. Because the fans don't hold the club to account. The fans themselves create narratives to suit whatever they want. Yeah. At the end of the day, you told me we can't buy players in January because it's hard to buy players because teams are trying to hit their objectives, Champions League football, winning the league, whatever the case may be. Nobody wants to sell in January. So why are we not doing it now? Why are we not? We only got two windows, bro. Pick one. The same thing they said, oh, it took Klopp 4 years. It was people that were backing this manager said to us, it took Klopp 4 years. Am I lying? They said it took Klopp 4 years. Right, we've passed 4 years. So can we criticize now? No, but we need extra ingredients. What extra ingredients? You told me it's 4 years. No, but there's context. What context? This manager spent more money than Klopp and now has had more time to deliver and has not delivered. What else do you need to realize that we're not doing what needs to be done? Oh, but we're just single points behind Man City. Okay, so what are we doing to rectify it? Oh, we got the best defense in the league. But you told me that last season we didn't win the league. Oh, but the players are growing together. Yeah, but you told me after phase 4, we're going to get over the line. You made that comparison. Oh, no, but we're going to spread the goals round. We don't need a clinical goal scorer. Don't worry, we'll spread. But you told me that last season. Where did we spread the goals around when we got kicked out of the cups against West Ham and Liverpool? Where were the goals being spread around when we had to take Porto to penalties? When was the goals being spread around when we got eliminated out of the Champions League to Bayern Munich? They're running out of excuses, bro. But I truly believe this fan base and this club are happy with top 4. The only reason we got rid of Wenger is because he didn't get top 4. Because we were spending money. But now all of a sudden, we ain't being proactive. Why are we not being proactive? We've not won the league. We've not won the league, bro. Man City, even when they win the league, get a superstar. Fergie, who'd win the league and still go out there, get Saha. Still go out there and get Tevez. Still go out there and get Berbatov. Still go out there and get Ronaldo. Still go out there and get Nani. But us, it's like, as soon as we get Champions League football, it's all right. We'll just get 1-2 signings. And we'll chill. You know? We'll chill. It doesn't matter. We've got versatility. There was an article today I saw. Somebody put, if Martinelli, Jesus, and Fabio Vieira hit top form, then it's as good as new signings. It's good enough. Good enough to do what?
Oh my God.
Last season, Martinelli played well 2 seasons ago. Did we get over the line? 2-3 seasons ago, Jesus was linking up play well. Did we get over the line? A couple of seasons ago, Fabio Vieira was there available. Was he being selected? Don't gaslight me. Don't gaslight me, bro. I'm at a point, bro. Bro, at times I can't even get angry. Like, Dan, this fan base loves to gaslight, bro. But guess what? With time, your excuses run dry. Because
Well,
at
let
every
me
excuse,
bring up a couple of them because there's a couple of comments in here that I wanna get your opinions on, and I'll give mine as well. Yella Dean, I don't know who Yella supports. I cannot see; it's too small. My eyes are not good enough for that. Says you've got the best squad, bar City. Stop the excuses. You don't need a Saka backup to win the league, and you've scored the most goals, so up front isn't a problem. The other one I wanted to bring up was from Sajid, who says after Pep, it's Arteta, 100%. Be careful what you wish for. Now, listen, I'll come first on this. Yes, I'm agreeing with you that we have the best squad other than Manchester City. Yes, I'm agreeing with you that there's been progress to second place. And yes, I'm agreeing with you that we were finished 2 points off of them last season. But that doesn't do anything for me. Like, I'm not being horrible here. I kind of want to win. I don't want to keep coming second best. The other way that I'll answer this is this Pep Guardiola thing has got to stop, man, because it's actually getting on my nerves now. Like the people that actually believe this is true, that the reason no one's winning anything is because of Pep Guardiola, is a madness to me. Because when I was growing up, man, I'm similar age to you. You're a bit younger than me, right? But it was Fergie and Wenger the whole time. I never once walked out of Highbury going, second, that's bloody good, you know, because Fergie's here. I was gutted when we were second, bro. Yeah. When they won a treble, I didn't walk out in 2000 and go, second place it is, boys, because they've just won a treble. Fergie's in town. Never once. So why am I going to do that now with Pep Guardiola? When we were in the Europa League, right, Pep Guardiola wasn't even in that competition. So what was the excuse for us not winning that? Was Pep the reason that we didn't win the Europa League? Is Pep the reason we didn't win the league? No, we're the reason we didn't win the league, yeah? Arsenal were to blame, not Pep Guardiola. Did Pep Guardiola make us lose to Fulham and not beat Fulham home or away? Did Pep Guardiola make us lose to West Ham? Did he make us lose to Liverpool in the Cup? Did he make us lose in the Carabao Cup to West Ham? Did he make us lose to Villa at home towards the end of the season? Pep Guardiola didn't do any of that. So why are we believing that Pep Guardiola is the reason that we're not winning stuff and that we have to wait until this guy goes and leaves City? Because I'll tell you this now, I want to beat Pep Guardiola this coming season. I don't wait for this guy to go to us to go, hey, now we go clear up. Because that's not how it works in football. You don't just wait for a guy to retire to go, right, now it's our time. Let's go and do it now. So listen, I just wanted to bring that up because it actually does really annoy me. I've heard this on a lot of streams now, and I've heard this with a lot of other rival fans as well, saying, well, when Pep goes, like maybe Liverpool and Arsenal might have a chance of winning the league. What is all this about? I never had this, oh, when Fergie goes, maybe we might have a chance. We'd already won stuff. We'd already beaten Fergie. And Arsene Wenger wasn't the only manager to beat Fergie, by the way. I've already seen Conte beat Pep. I've already seen Klopp beat Pep. I've already seen Champions Leagues won that aren't Pep Guardiola's. I've already seen this season Ten Hag beat Pep in the final. I just don't get it, Northside. It's really weird, man.
Somebody said, but at the end of the day, Fergie wasn't spending 2 billion. Bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? Did Liverpool spend 2 billion to beat City to a title? So how come they could do it? How come they could do it? It just doesn't make any sense, bro. These men act like it's impossible when we've seen it happen, when we've seen it being done. Wenger wasn't spending as much as Fergie. Fergie was spending peas. But we still were able to get over the line. After they won the treble, yeah, these men act like, oh, you can't beat a team that's won a treble, treble winners and all that. When they won the treble in 99, did we not win the league in 02? And then we won the league again in 04.
Yep.
Some of the players they
did a double in 02 and win invincible in 04. So,
and some of the players they had were players that have got them over the line. They had a manager that won a treble, yet Wenger was able to win 2 league titles against that team. Yes, he didn't dominate. I've never sat here and said, oh, you know what, Arsenal, we have to dominate. Yeah, I'd like us to, but at least get over the line a couple of times. We know that Pep is the best manager in this league. But you can't tell me that the best candidate for this job is a manager that's never got over the line. You can't tell me that. Based off of what? Of sentiment. Because it's not off of CV. It's not off of CV. When fans want to go into players, yeah, what they look at? What's his stats? What's he done? What's he won? How's he performed? So why does that go out the window when we're assessing managers? Why does it go out the window? Why is Mikel Arteta the best manager for the job that's done nothing and won nothing? But then when you want a player, okay, we want a clinical goal scorer. How many goals has he scored? What league does he play? How's he performed in high pressure moments? Was he pivotal? Why is that not leverage a manager, bro? Why not? It's bro, because this fan base is full of hypocrisy and double standards. That's what it is, bro. At the end of the day, yeah, you rate managers based on trophies and what's won. You rate players based on their stats and what they've won and how pivotal they were to the club that they were playing for. So why has it changed when it's Arsenal? You know what I mean? And the fact that people don't get that, listen, I don't know, man. I don't get it done. I'll be honest with you, bro. This fan base is truly lost. It's truly lost that when you say you want your club to win, I say I want my club to win, not get second. I want my club to win. At the end of the day, yeah, let's not go on like there's no room for improvement or there's not reason to not be happy. But they talk like we've done it all. They go on like we've won the Champions League, like we won the Premier League. Like there's no improvement. Oh, everything's going excellent. Okay, cool, no worries. And the next season, the majority of people running up their mouth right now, they ain't going to be talking at the end of last season because the end of this season, yeah. Where's the apologies for all the abuse? Where's the apologies for saying I'm delusional? I'm not a real Arsenal fan. Guess what? We were right again. All our concerns was right. Don't have a proper striker. Don't have a proper bench. Don't have players that can break into the team. And this manager in the crunch end of the season always falls flat on his ass. But apparently they want to gaslight like, oh, you're talking rubbish. Did we win the league? Did we win the league? So there's reason to criticize. We know what needs to be strengthened. But like I said, this fan base is very feminine. They like to hear words of affirmation. Yeah, I do that with my girlfriend, not with my football club. She needs words of affirmation. She needs to be told she's beautiful, and which she is, but she needs all those words. Not my football club, bro. My football club needs some harsh truths about the reality. And the reality is, every time you guys set a time or tell me, Northside next season, what was everyone's pre-season predictions before last season? Because I clicked it up. The start of last season, Dan, most people said we have to win a major honor. End of the season, what they saying now? As long as we win something next season. That's not what you said last season. That's not what you said last season. Your words. Since I'm so toxic, let me use your words. Last season, before when we spent less money than we did now, up until now, buying players, you told me we have to win a major honor. A year on, 2 transfer windows on. No. As long as we win something. What's changed? What's changed is you don't like accountability. What's changed is you'd rather move the goalpost so that no one can criticize the club. But the reality is, why did you say that? But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is, man.
I love listening to you, man, I must say, because you just say it how it is. I don't always agree with everything you say, but there's a lot that I do think you're talking facts about. I do think the fan base definitely don't have an understanding of what our expectations are. I think they've had a lot of excuses for a few years, calling it process. And now that process has come to an end. The harsh reality sets in that you've got to get across the line. And if you don't get across the line, there's going to be massive question marks, not just from fans, by all the media about where we're going and how long this is going to take. Because let's be real, we have got to actually win something soon. So that's the way I see it. Just quickly on some outgoings, Eddie and Nelson, how much would you sell them for? Do you think they should go?
Eddie should go for around the same money as ESR. He scored a couple of goals. In recent times, even though he's done hardly anything, he's done a bit more than ESR. So he should at least go for around 35 to 40 mil. If we can get 35 for ESR, that I can't remember the last time he scored or assisted, I think we should get round about the same money. 30 mil, I'd be calm with. Reece Nelson, maybe 20 mil. Maybe 20, 25 mil. And keep it stepping. Goodbye, guys. See you later. Just like David Bentley. Goodbye, bro. You didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Just like Carlos Vela. You didn't make it. Like Wellington Silva. You know what I mean? Miachi. Remember Miachi?
Oh, Rio Miyachi. I do remember him. Yeah. Yeah.
Did we cry back then? Did we cry that
Nah,
he didn't make it?
I do remember him. That was the guy that was going to be our next. He was supposed to be like Son, wasn't he? Like he was supposed to be brilliant for us, like Son was, like for the Spurs. Nah, never happened. Was it? Never happened. There's been a lot like that, to be fair. But I'm with you. I think when David Bentley and Jermaine Pennant and Lou Polly and Jeremy Aliadier, when they all went, no one cried. We just replaced them. And I kind of feel like that's the same now. I think Nelson, loaner of an obligation to Leicester. If we can get 15, 20 mil, let's do it. If we can get close to 30 mil for Eddie Nketiah, let's do it. And then we go replace them, man. And that's where I want to kind of end. We're going to chuck the super chat in a minute to end. But I will say this, Northside, in terms of incomings, what do you expect to happen? And what would you like to see happen?
I expect a bare minimum. We'll probably get Mikel Merino or somebody like that. And then it will be, there's no quality in the market. That's what I expect from this ownership. What I want is a right winger, a clinical goal scorer, a number 10, a central midfielder, and another defender.
Okay. Interesting, my bro. Interesting. Let's bring up this super chat to come to a close. This one, we got a couple actually. I think, have we? No, here we go. It's this one. Sorry. Too many stars. Virgil No Hairside again. Big up, my bro. Says, even if Pep's leaving, are the players going to stay another trophy this season? Because maybe it's good enough for the positive loser fans, but the players are going to question the ambition of our football club. This is a really nice place to end because I know a lot of people think this is a very negative thing to say, and most people in the chat believe we've had probably been quite negative today, Northside. But I will say this, right? If we don't win something this season, the fans that are saying, don't matter, ask Saliba if it matters. Because if this carries on, he will not stay at Arsenal. Saka might be a bit different because he loves the club and all that. But there will come a time where youth projects that we've seen before, i.e. Cesc Fabregas, Robin Van Persie, youth projects that we've seen before, i.e. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Theo Walcott, Ramsey, Wilshere, it got to a stage where players got the hump, right? And they said, I'm going to go and win stuff, I'm afraid. Now, you can look at the Fabregases and the Van Persies for that. You can look at the Alexis Sanchez for that. You can look at Nasri, Kolo Touré, Adebayor, Sagna, Clichy. They all went to go and win something. And people got annoyed with it. I'm going to say it now. I don't hate Ashley Cole or Robin Van Persie or Cesc Fabregas. They were winners. And this club was not, or did not, have the ambition to want to win. Does it now? Well, I hope so. Because if it doesn't, trust me, players like Saliba will go. Yeah, they will. They will go to Real Madrid and they will go and win stuff. So start acting like a big club and winning stuff, man. Honestly, this is what frustrates me is the fan base just think that in the next few years, if we just carry on and we keep coming second, nearly there, another trophyless, nearly there. You think Saliba's going to get to 28 and go, when's this going to happen for me? He's going to get to 24, 25 and go, might be time to go Madrid now then, if we haven't won anything. And I don't want that to happen, bro, but the facts say that it does. Go back and look at Fabregas, look at Van Persie, look at Sanchez. You think they left because they got bored of London? They left because they wanted to go and win shit, bro. So that's what people don't quite get into their heads. This is why it's not panic modes, but it's like we got to start actually delivering. And that's my last say on it. And I think this super chat for me sums that up big time, man. So just quickly, what's your thoughts on that, bro? And we'll end there.
Not every player is like Harry Kane. They ain't going to just keep trusting the process. And even he reached the limit that he's like, yo, I need to go quick, bro. Why did he make that move to Bayern Munich? He had enough of fake promises and not delivering. Let's be real. That's why he left. They sold him to Poch. They sold him to Mourinho. They sold him to Conte. Nothing got over the line. He got tired. You know what I mean? And that's the reality of it. At the end of the day, when you're winning, you dictate what happens, innit? You dictate what happens. I mean, even the last thing I'm gonna say on it, even I think it was Bernardo Silva, even he had murmurs before, I might leave, and they're winning. Yeah, but why did he stay? Because we keep winning. And then he went on to win the treble because his club kept delivering. Wayne Rooney was a serial winner as well. And I believe that Saliba has a winning mentality. I think Gabriel has a winning mentality. I think Saka has a winning mentality. Look how gutted he was for England. They want to win. You're right. They want to win. Yeah. But at the same time, Wayne Rooney turned around to the greatest Premier League manager I've ever seen and said, who are we signing? Wayne Rooney turned around to Fergie and said, who are we signing, bro? Because we ain't winning, I'm off. You remember that summer? He's like, yo, I'm off, man. I'm off. Dan, it's been a good ride. Thank you for the glory. I'm off, bro. You know what I mean? Because this club ain't moving serious. All of a sudden, they brought in some players. Okay, cool. Rooney, don't worry. Okay, fine. I'll sign the contract. We're moving serious again. And this is the problem. Yeah, we may only have one or two of them, but they will leave. Do you remember Fabregas looking around? Fabregas's quotes. I looked around on the coach and I saw, I'm carrying this team. I asked the manager, what are we doing? And he said, we're not going to do much in this window. And he goes, I'm sick and tired of carrying this team. At that time, Fabregas was our best player. Fabregas was playing through injury. Fabregas was playing, his leg was dangling. Do you remember? His leg was finished.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was still easily our best player. Yeah. And he said, do you remember when the Spanish fans put the Barca shirt over him?
That's right.
And he was like, no, I love Arsenal. He waited to see if Arsenal are going to be ambitious. When he saw they weren't, he stayed, he read it out. And then in the end, he said, I'm off, bro. I'm off. I've had enough of carrying this team. Saka's going to feel like that. You get me? All these players eventually feel like that. Saliba's going to feel like that. Gabriel, there's going to be somebody that's going to be like, I'm tired of this, bro. Yeah? Because we talk about Tottenham don't win anything. That's why Mudryk left. That's why Berbatov left. That's why what's his name? The fullback that went to Real Madrid. Gareth Bale. That's why he left. That's why they left. Do you know why? Because you weren't winning anything. You can't just leverage that at Spurs. That's how it works in football. You don't win, your best players will move on. Even if you are winning, they could still go to Real Madrid. But at the end of the day, most of them will be like, bro, if we're not winning, I'm off, man. I'm off, man. We ain't winning nothing here. Why did they leave? Because their club weren't winning nothing. That is why. But this fan base, a lot of the people, bro, that talk rubbish in the chat didn't see those times. And actually gave me an idea. I'm going to bring back those quotes. I'm going to bring back why every time we had a top player, why they left. Yeah. And we'll see if that doesn't relate to what's going on right now. And if we can't see that in the foreseeable future. Thank you for that, Dan. You know what I mean? You just give me extra content.
Nice job, my bro. Listen, it's all good, man. And listen, I'm gonna say a massive thank you to you as well for coming on, my bro. I know there's been a lot of people in the chat aren't interested. Don't know why they're watching, to be fair, but they are. So thank you all for being here. I do appreciate it. Make sure you do me a favor, hit a like on this and hit subscribe. Have we hit 200 likes yet? We should have. Oh, we're 2 away. Come on, people. Fair play to you. Let's make sure you hit the like button. Let's get up to 250 likes. Let's make sure that we are hitting subscribe as well. We just hit 21.6, which is great stuff. So big up to all of you as well. And Northside, let's make sure we go and follow him, man. Northside LDN on the route to 20k, or actually 15 to 20k is the next one for you. So let's make sure we get him up to that. And listen, it's been a pleasure, my bro. Thanks for coming on.
Big up, my G. Love for having me, man. Big up.
Come on, man. Legend. You got any shows tonight? Anything tonight, tomorrow?
Yeah, tonight, probably at 6, half 6, I'll go live again. And yeah, probably at 6, man. I know you're working hard, man. Big up, man. Listen, the work rate has been 10-10, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's not easy as a fellow content creator. People think you just press live and you go live. It's not like that. It's really not like that. You know what I mean? And even with personal things going on, I had madness going on in my personal life and I'm still streaming. Madness, bro. You know, and then people don't realize that. And then you go in the chat and you see, you know what I mean? Some people just talking absolute nonsense and stuff like that. And it's crazy, bro. So big up to you, bro, because your channel's booming. You're at 20k now, yeah?
Yeah, man, over 20 now. So we're hitting towards 22 at the moment. So let's keep it going, man. See if we
Hard
get
work pays off. I remember before you went full time, you was at where I'm at now, hitting 12k.
Yeah,
and
that's right, bro.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
you're going full time. You had a talk, I think, with your dad and stuff. Went full time. Boom! Look at you now, bro. Now, real talk, you deserve it. Dan Potts, I've actually met in person. We met in person outside the Watford Stadium. Chill, brother, man. Cool guy, bro. You know, he didn't know me. Obviously, I've seen him, but he didn't even know me. Calm guy, made time to talk to me. We just spoke, chilled, and that. You know what I mean? And now, man, listen, all the blessings you're getting from the channel, big up to you, bro. And every time I can redirect, I'll definitely redirect, bro, because you're a genuine person, bro. And a lot not everyone. I'll just say not everyone's like that.
Listen, come on, right back at you, man. I appreciate that. I've got love for you, man, and I hope you absolutely smash it. I really do. Keep plugging away. Make sure you show some love, people. Make sure you also show some love to Manscaped as well. Click on the pinned comment, and yeah, make sure you go and check out the Beard Hedger. I am sure most of you have got the Beard Hedger, but if you have not done so already, make sure that you go and get it because it's 20% off using that link. All you got to do is click on the link, go and get the Beard Hedger, search under beard and face, beard trimmers, Beard Hedger, add it to your cart, check out, boom, 20% comes off automatically. We're using that link. So make sure that you do that, please, people. We're out of here. Take it easy and see you next time.
Yes, people, Manscaped is back. But this time, it's not for below the belt grooming. Manscaped brings to you the Beard Hedger, the best product on the market when it comes to beard trimmers. The Beard Hedger is unique due to its number of gradient settings. As someone who's purchased this, I won't turn to any other beard trimmer. Check it out for yourself at manscaped.com. And don't forget to use code FTM20 to get 20% off of this product.